Jupiter in Taurus from a medical astrology point of view. So Jupiter deals with our meaning and reasoning. It deals with our broad philosophical point of view. It deals with bringing us experiences so we can expand in certain areas of our life. Jupiter is like the father in Abrahamic religion. Jupiter is like the father who watches over the son, Jesus, through giving him higher wisdom and higher meaning and reasoning on what to do or what not to do, like dying for the father or working for the father and things like that. You always hear about it in the Bible, Jesus the son doing his father work. The father is also, or Jupiter is Zeus in Greek mythology, which is the ruler of Mount Olympus, showing you the importance of this energy of Jupiter that deal with experiences, that deal with developing meaning and reasoning, higher understanding. If you develop meaning and reasoning, higher understanding, philosophy, you could become like Zeus and rule Mount Olympus. And Zeus was the king of all the Titans, and he's the even one that protected them and helped them fight against the other evil Titans and the underworld and all those crazy allegories through what experiences and things like that. I think Zeus is the one who protected his other Titan brothers and sisters from their father Uranus, and like many Greek flunked out stories. But now it's Jupiter, since Jupiter deal with our meaning and reasoning, developing broad philosophical point of view, and now it's going through Taurus. Taurus dealing with the energy of being fixated and stubborn on our values, what's practical, what makes sense, what makes us feel safe and secure and securitized, what makes us feel grounded in physical reality. Taurus is all about developing the sense of stability. This is why they're into, like, this some negative stereotypes like food and things like that, or being comfortable at home, nice clothing, and Taurus energy make you appreciate physical reality. So they appreciate fabrics, food, all type of sweet stuff and things like that, which is very important, because if you really think about it, there's nothing more important essentially from a fixed earth energy than having healthy food, good quality fruits, vegetables, even animals, and good home, a nice home, something comfortable and things like that. And these like the essentials of making yourself feel safe and secure. If you really think about it, what do majority of people struggle with is food, high quality food, and then homing and shelter. This is like where like shit, like you hear about mortgages and people dying over paying these bills and things like that. So having Jupiter here in Taurus, Jupiter is helping us to develop a broader philosophical point of view, a broader meaning and reasoning, wisdom, a higher understanding on how we could maneuver this values that we working on, trying to stabilize and ground for this long time, since having Uranus been in Taurus, forcing us to be unique and original through our values and asset, and how we gain some form of stability for ourselves, which is very quite hard, since Uranus is almost this like high voltage energy that's going through our body, but Uranus is debilitated in this position in Taurus, so we can't push all this energy to the physical body because you're gonna destroy it. And Uranus is part of Aquarius, is ruled by Aquarius, so that deals with the winter season energy, and that's ruled by the generational planet. And those energies are like a lot of energy that could like really affect your body in like different type of ways. But either way, now having Jupiter here, Jupiter is making us expand more and learn more and develop more meaning and reason, so we could know how to deal with these values, these assets, forms of securities, these shapes and forms that makes us feel stable, grounded on the earth through experiences, so we could know what to do and what not to do. But here Jupiter is giving us like this higher point of view, so we wouldn't get lost in physical reality of Taurus, because Taurus rules earth, and earth is the most densest aspect of the 7 water cycle system that we live inside of. So Jupiter is here allowing us to guide this value, this fixed earth, from a higher point of view, so we don't get lost of it, which is something that happens a lot in physical reality, since in physical reality we get trapped in our physical body through so many different things, through addictions, through food, through visual stimulation, through things we like to hear, and all these things trap us in our physical body and our physical reality. This is why in Hellenistic astrology the Greeks like to call the second house as hell, because if they see physical reality, the second house, material possession, these values as hell itself. So with this energy of Jupiter is going to make us very wise about our material position, very wise about our values and assets, and hopefully we've been growing there something in this Taurus energy, this farm for a while. So when Jupiter the father come, Jupiter could bring us all type of benefic opportunity, all type of excitements, all type of optimism, because we've been growing this fruit in our farm, and then when our father comes we could show him this fruit, and then our father could bless us. Biologically, Jupiter deal with tissue expansion. Now tissue expansion could play out positively or could play out negatively. Tissue expansion or positively could play out as you experience the tissue expansion through like exercising or going to the gym or working out, essentially. Because when you go to working out to experiences with your physical body, your body develop new tissues, new muscles, so you could handle going through those experiences again, since you develop that better meaning and reasoning, aka better tissues through things like your muscles. So that's a healthy form of tissue expansion. This is why Jupiter rules Sagittarius, the ninth house, which deal with our muscular system. But this is why people like to say Sagittarius ruled by the thigh, but they don't add in the fact that the thigh is your thighs, your legs, your glutes, your quadriceps, your hamstrings are one of the biggest muscle groups in your body. So that makes sense too. This form of tissue expansion can also play out negatively with Jupiter through things like inflammation. This is where tissues gets inflamed, and after this inflammation they become weak. They lead to weak structures and things like that. This is quite unhealthy, which lead to weak bones, weak structures, weak things to stand on. This is why Sagittarius, our meaning and reasoning, sits beside Capricorn, skeleton system. Because if we don't have a good meaning and reasoning, form of spiritual sovereignty, spirituality, aka muscles, then we can't have a good thing to stand on with our knees, our bones, our skeleton system, which is very important. But now that's the good side of Jupiter, tissue expansion, but also the negative side of Jupiter, which is negative tissue expansion, like inflammation, even like things like stretch marks or extra loose skin. Like your body expands tissues in many different ways, like your hair, this is like some form of tissues, but it's a different form of tissue, but it expands too, but this is a different form of tissue. Just like how your skin is a different form of tissue, your eyes is a different form of tissue, your teeth is a different form of tissue. It's just tissues on different form of density. Your nervous system is a lighter form of tissue compared to your bones, which is a denser form of tissue. But see how even in biology it deals with density and lightness. Some tissues are more light versus tissues are more dense. So that's Jupiter. And Taurus, the second house, deals with our hormonal system. It's basically is what allows to achieve equilibrium with our body through creating certain physiological responses to our hormones. And our hormones essentially are almost signals that get sent to different body parts to perform certain activities that are necessary for our body to stay healthy. And a negative hormone system could lead to a lot of issues like constipation, feeling tired, inability to sleep, inability to grow muscle, like many things. Like a healthy hormone system will make you live a easier life. It will prevent you from experiencing all these issues that deal with an imbalance in your hormone system, was something a lot of people experience, since it's very hard to balance that energy out. But you have to go through a lot of experiences with your physical body to know what to do, what not to do, what makes you feel stable and grounded within your own body. We all could communicate about that, but then you gotta figure out your own way on how to do it. Like some people like to relax through working out, some people like to relax through music, some people like to relax through communicating, and like a multitude of things. So you just gotta figure out your own way. So Taurus dealing with our hormonal system, which allows us to stabilize ourselves and ground ourselves, plays a major part in our physiology, because Taurus is essentially our physical body. But Taurus, the hormonal system, is able to do its job based on what comes before it, which is Aries, the first house, the brain and nervous system. Taurus, the hormonal system, which send hormonal signals, are based on electrical or nervous system responses that happens in your brain through Aries, the first house. So you could think about it this way: Aries, the first house, begins the nervous system signal, and Taurus, the second house, the fixed earth, stabilize or ground this cardinal fire they've been giving birth to through a hormonal response. Why? Because Aries, the nervous system, the cardinal fire, can sustain its vision on its own. Taurus, the fixed earth, the second house, to stabilize, ground that vision on a longer lasting physiological response, like hormones versus nervous system signals, which is a very important concept. So now Jupiter, being the planet of tissues, expansion, and things like that, is going to make you go through experience and try to expand and learn about your physical body, so you could develop a higher meaning or reason on how to deal with it, so you can feel more healthier. This is the time for you to apply like higher understanding to your physiology, a higher understanding to how you take care of your physical body, a higher form of meaning and reasoning, so you could get out of this physical form of existence that you've been living on for a long time, and things like that. Some more than others, and some not so much like others, because some people are so trapped within their physical body that they lose their sense of like spirituality or that mental faculty, because they're so they're so attached towards their physical body. It's hard for them to interpret the higher realms of reality, because they're so focused on the denser realms of reality. But there's some people who are so focused on the higher realm of reality, but it's hard for them to bring it to the dense physical realm of reality, and you need balance between them. And you could be definitely use this Jupiter energy to go through a lot of experiences with your physical body to learn on what to do, what not to do, or what makes you feel stable, grounded, and help you develop better values they could benefit from, and things like that, which will be quite beneficial for yourself. This is almost like deciding to go on a long journey to learn about your physical body and unlock the different secrets on how you can stabilize and ground your hormonal system. Or negatively, it could make you focus on the negative side of Jupiter, which is that excessive expanding experience that cannot be controlled, sometimes, which forces you to essentially go and experience the negative side of Taurus energy, like the go through more experience of getting attached towards physical reality, or the negative side of physical reality, all the sugary stuff, all the gym, or all the physical material things that's bad for you, versus learning and expanding on those physical material things that is beneficial for you. So that's how you can utilize this Jupiter energy and Jupiter and Taurus in a positive way or in a negative way. So definitely utilize it in a positive way, since we know Jupiter is gonna it's gonna conjunct Uranus at some point, and that should lead to a lot of expansion and uniqueness and originality in this asset, this value you've been working out for this long time, especially having Uranus being in Taurus for a long time. So definitely utilize this energy.